Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video. We just hit 35.1k subscribers. Can we get to 36k by the end of the month and eventually overtake LTE? Please like this video down below and subscribe to the channel before we get started. But today we have to talk about Joe Biden yet again and talk about the poll numbers and see why Biden could be in trouble with younger voters come election day. This was a piece in Fox News earlier today, found it on the Real Clear Politics homepage, and I would like to talk about it today. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Saying, following his disastrous showings in the Iowa and Nevada caucuses and New Hampshire primary, Joe Biden's campaign appeared to be on the verge of collapse. This was true. I thought Biden would not do well on Super Tuesday, and I was wrong. That was one of the first bad predictions that I've made in the history of my channel. Eventually, I recovered. Super Tuesday 2, nailed it. Super Tuesday 3, nailed Illinois down to the perfect decimal points, and Florida's margin to the perfect decimal points. So don't want to use that against me in terms of my accuracy. But apparently something remarkable happened. The Democrats' party wing, establishment wing, decided that Biden's generally poor debate performances, incoherent ramblings, and troubling sexual assault allegation, his allegedly moderate policy proposals would be more palatable to voters in key swing states than the radical policies offered by self-described socialist Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont, who at the time seemed poised to capture the party's nomination. This is true. The establishment basically sat there and consolidated themselves around Joe Biden, saying in the blink of an eye, Senator Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota and former South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg dropped out of the race, and as a result, Biden enjoyed a truly remarkable turnaround Super Tuesday. Okay, so basically, they're talking about how Biden came from this candidate that was looked to be the 2020 version of Jeb Bush, which I speculated at the time could be a possibility, to be this comeback kid and win nearly everything. Bernie Sanders not really winning very many states, if anything, past Super Tuesday. I think he won like 1 or 2 states at most, maybe a couple of territories. But it says, make no mistake about it, Biden was a terrible candidate, and he still is a terrible candidate, which is possibly the mistake that Democrats have made. He's a gaffe machine. He's an establishment politician. He's had his long fair share of controversies and scandals and has moved to the left with his policies, but hasn't really been accepted by the Bernie wing of the party. And Biden ultimately was chosen for one reason. He was considered by many within the party to be the most electable candidate remaining. What has history shown us? Bob Dole, John Kerry, John McCain, Mitt Romney, Hillary Clinton. Doesn't matter, doesn't necessarily work that way. There's no movement behind Biden other than Orange Man Bad. And the Orange Man Bad movement is not going to be enough to get Joe Biden to the White House. It's just not. Yeah, it's true. 45% of Americans strongly disapprove of Donald Trump. That's not going to be enough to get Joe Biden to the White House, especially when Joe Biden actually has a lower favorable rating than Donald Trump and is trailing by 37 in the enthusiasm gap. So this says, unfortunately for Democrats, new evidence seems to suggest the Biden electability argument might be severely flawed. Not only is Biden facing immense pressure from an army of angry Bernie acolytes over a sexual assault claim made by former Senate aide Tara Reade, but recent polling also shows support for Biden among young voters. A key demographic for Democrats might be much weaker than anyone realized, even in head-to-head matchups with Trump. This could not be farther from the truth. If you looked at the primary turnout in the college towns and even the inner cities, basically the Democrat strongholds, college towns and minority voters, Biden failed. He actually did worse in most of those places than Hillary Clinton did. Detroit turnout was down even when you adjust for a population decrease. Turnout was down across college towns across the country. Both Biden and Bernie, their favorability ratings are dropping. If you look at the majority Hispanic counties, when you look at the Democrats in places like Arizona and Texas, those counties were down in turnout as well. So basically, there is an enthusiasm gap in the necessity communities that Democrats need to win. It's absolutely crazy. And this says, according to an extensive survey by the Institute of Politics at the Harvard Kennedy School of Government released in late April, only 34% of Americans aged 18 to 29 say they have a favorable view of the former VP. Just 8% say they have a very favorable view, and 47% of young people have an unfavorable view. So the young People's Party, the Democratic Party, Their party leader has just an 8% favorable rating, but a 47% unfavorable rating. And I'm not saying that he can't win some of the unfavorable rating people, because people hate Trump. People that actually are believing Tara Reade are coming out and saying they're backing Biden anyway, which is just optics cancer on their point. They're getting ratioed on Twitter, and rightfully so. But Biden has a problem with energy. He has a problem with young people. Trump doesn't seem to have that problem. No matter what, Trump voters are going to stick with the president. That's basically been the case. There was a period in 2017, late 2017, where he had an approval rating in the mid to high 30s. And eventually, when he corrected course off of that, he was able to do very well moving forward, and actually was able to get up to, I believe his record was roughly 47% or so in the aggregate probably a month ago. Right now it's down to about 45, but he's still in a fairly good shape to win, and riding the crisis wave is going to help him. This also says, although the percentage of young people who said they had an unfavorable view of Trump was much higher, the percent that they had a favorable opinion of Trump was only 4% lower than Biden's. That's key. Trump has a 30% approval rating among younger voters 18 to 29, which in 2016, if you look at this, he got roughly, 35, 36% of the younger voters 18 to 29. It's roughly about 20% of the electorate, and Trump got roughly 36%. Right now, Trump has a 30% approval rating and Biden has a 34%. So that gap is 4%. And yes, Biden will do much better. Hillary was struggling with them too. Hillary ended up getting 55. She beat Trump 55 to 36. I could see a similar thing. Biden probably beating Trump, something like that. But you also have a lot of people saying they're going to vote third party in this too. 3% of younger voters, and younger voters typically are the people to choose a third party. They're less set in stone. They're more independent-minded voters, although they're not really independent-minded because there are a lot of left-leaning independents in this younger generation. But 8% of people, or you can see in here, it's probably more like 9% of people picked a third party in 2016 that were in this demographic. And you have Bernie Sanders, you have AOC, you have these far-left socialist elephants in the room. Then Biden kind of runs contradictory to them. And as these people move farther and farther to the left, Biden's basically going to be left out in the dust. And this is explaining the civil war within the Democrat Party. They basically have a big civil war brewing within them. So, and as more moderate the party appears, the less enthusiastic voters become. That's also an important thing this article talks about. So basically, this is the monster that the left can no longer control. They don't have that Obama-style candidate. They don't have that candidate that can have that, intergenerational appeal. They don't have the candidate that can appeal to the far left people and the center left and moderates and bring conservatives aboard, like that maverick in Bill Clinton, like Barack Obama inspiring hope and change in 2008. They don't have that guy anymore. And this is partially one of the reasons why Joe Biden could end up being doomed in this election cycle. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Please like this video down below, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media, join the Discord and subreddit, join the Patreon, and subscribe. Star links in description. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Red Eagle, out.